Hi, it's Glenn Dietzel here, and I'm away vacationing with my family, and I can't be with you live. So enjoy one of our top Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts, and I look forward to being live with you again really soon. Hello, everybody, and welcome again to another Google Hangout. It's Glenn Dietzel here, and these are our Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts. And actually, for the very first time, a number of people have said, Glenn, why don't you do them from the Canadian Lake Home? And so I've decided to do them in two different locations at the Canadian Lake Home. So this is the very first one. So those of you that are attending new here, you might see the computer just jiggle just a little bit here today. I forgot to bring my portable mouse for my computer here. I left it in our office, our international office, so I've got to actually use my everything, all the tools on my computer here. So if it jiggles a little bit, you're not getting motion sickness. It's just me trying to be very careful. So the setting is not perfect, but as you can see here, we live in a gorgeous area. People that come to the Canadian Lake Home, we've got people all over the world that come in here, and they get a chance to work directly with me with our measurable and accountable systems that are going to change and transform your life and the way that you do business. That's why I've set up these Google Hangouts. I was just telling everybody here, you're going to get a chance today to meet three of our clients from different parts of the world who are coming into Omega Mind. Today I want to talk to you, though, about the importance of creating an executive summary. And so we're going to go through 5 rules on why you should have an executive, or what goes in an executive summary. I want to cover why you need an executive summary, first of all, and then kind of splattered, if you will, in our Google Hangout today, I'm going to interview 3 of my clients and 3 of our clients who've invested in Omega Mind. This is the brainchild of mine, and as I was telling Luke, who you will meet here very shortly, because he was the first one on today in our green room, 30 minutes before the top of the hour, that what I've aimed all of our Google Hangouts. So if you're a client of ours right now, and I have positioned these Google Hangouts for you, for all of our clients. You're going to get the best content that's online today, and what people really need assistance with is assistance. And so there's 2 things that you want to make sure that you understand in a service-based environment or an economy that we're in. And that's all predicated, again, on you've got to have high-end programs and services because you want to attract your ideal client. I'm going to show you how to do that today with an ADP, an ABP, not ADP. My wife used to be, was an ADP provider as an occupational therapist, assistive device program, so not an ADP, but an ABP, advisory-based product. So if you've been following us, I make lots of mistakes. I'm only human, but I've got an uncannily non-human-like, robotic, machine-like system that gives my clients the results that they really want. So if you can work with my imperfections, you're going to love the systems that we teach our clients to leverage and use. So I want you to understand, too, that this is not a formal lecture. I've got 9 years of post-secondary degrees, 4 of them, starting a PhD program not that long ago, 10 years ago, and I don't mean this to be formal. I want this to be informal. However, I don't want to lose sight of the fact that when it comes to my clients' results, I am unbelievably anal, unbelievably focused, and there's no joking around when it comes to me working with my clients. So I want you to understand kind of the paradigm, if you will, of our Google Hangouts. Where I am situated right now is actually where the Omega Mind program is going to be located, and let me just throw this up here so all of you can see this. Omega Mind. This is, as I said, the brainchild of my company, of myself, and being that we live in a service-based economy and where people either want done for you or they want assistance in getting things done. All right, so please understand that. People either want done for you or they want assistance. So you devise your company that you want to create. Ours is basically a consulting framework. We show our clients what to do. In fact, we do things for them, their presentations, realign things, helping them on a daily basis. And so these Google Hangouts are for my clients. So this gives you an opportunity. We've made these public so that, and we advertise them. So you get a chance to take a look at what we do, and you can make an intelligent decision on what your logical next decision or step should be for your company if you're serious about playing all out in business and want to get the results that you're really longing for that you can't get following the typical expert guru advice, because it teaches you to position yourself in the area where there's all kinds of competition. That's on the price ladder. So if you know the only alternative is the value ladder, we're going to talk a lot about value, how to position value, and that's what we're going to talk today about. How do you organize your value from the standpoint of an executive summary? So what I like to do, though, is, speaking of an executive summary, I'm going to interview Luke Charlton here just for a moment. Luke's part of, came into the Canadian Lake Home for a one-day intensive. It's one of my one-on-one clients. He's moving forward with Omega Mind, which is an unbelievable program, and I'm going to use Omega Mind as a case study today when we talk about executive summary. So I'm going to give Luke an opportunity to speak to us and provide a little bit of an executive summary on why he decided to invest with us, invest in Omega Mind, and just hear from Luke. So Luke, can you hear me okay? Luke, do you want to make sure that you unmute yourself? I can't.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. How are you?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. So Luke, let's just get right to the point. Why did you invest with me? And speak to that first of all.
I invested with you because of your your proven systems to start off with, and the amount of testimonials that you had. That really kind of answered a lot of my fears. I mean, you had a lot of social proof there. Secondly, your skills as a teacher. So being able to apply this business knowledge, and that was solidified once I came into your programs and started going through your material. It so easy to apply, and that goes to show I've been able to, just working with a few months with you, about 5 months now I think it is, time flies. I've been able to travel the world, move to London, and grow my company so much faster than if I was doing it any other way, basically. So yeah.
Luke, one of our mantras, and this is going to be a mantra for Omega Mind, which is something that I've always wanted to put together. It's not another sit and get high-end mastermind group, but it's where we get things done at an accelerated rate. Our mantra is, one of them is newer and faster conversations. How have you been able to develop newer and faster conversations? And what has that done for you specifically? If you could just speak to that just for a second.
Sure. When I moved to London, I was obviously, I didn't really know anyone, so I was about building relationships quickly, networking, that type of thing, and making sure that I was saying the right things to attract clients or that type of thing. And I realized after a lot of trial and error that the things that I was saying weren't the right things. And just after working with you and making a few minor adjustments, the traction over the last couple of weeks has been amazing. Already booked too many consults that I can handle. Actually, it's a bit hectic. So it's just about being smart and how you're positioning yourself, and getting that assistance as well. Huge.
Luke, I want to commend you. You're a young guy. You're in your 20s. If you want to give out your age, you can. So many people today, so many well-meaning consultants, because we attract a lot globally. So many business owners, and I'm not even speaking to the people who are just starting out new in business, which are about 50% of our clients. But they get they start a business and then they become trapped and held hostage to the model that they've created
Mhm.
Can you speak to that just for a second, and let everybody know how old you are, by the way?
I'm 27 years old. So again, one of the things that I love with your programs, even though I'm still quite young, I was still able to leverage the experience that I had and still be able to sell high-end programs. So another thing that attracted me. But going back to the question of, sorry, what was it? Modeling. Sorry,
Yeah.
can you say that again? Can you say that again? Sorry.
Yeah. What in developing newer and faster conversations? Just speak to the what you've learned by how to speed up a conversation in the marketplace. Because at the end of the day, if we can speed up conversations, speed up our positioning, we can close deals that documented 7 to 9 times faster than any other program out there, which means then you're really creating what I call an ROIT business. And I'll just write that down for everybody right here. Return on invested time. So you're not building a business that's really focused on trading time for money, but trading value for money. So just your thought around that, Luke.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Especially, putting new conversations in the marketplace, and that's what I love about working one-on-one with you, because you hold me and the rest of us accountable to that fact, because it is so important. Putting yourself out there, but at the same time positioning yourself strategically, so you attract the ideal clients, and that you are, booking consultations, closing high-end deals. But it all starts with putting that conversation out into the marketplace. It's totally true.
So last quick question. Speak to the person. You're coming to Omega Mind. You're part of that. Speak to the person that is very skeptical about investing themselves or overthinking. Really two types of people, if you will. But speak to that person who's scared to make an investment in him or herself, a sizable investment. You've invested a lot of money in our programs. As I tell all my clients, you pay for the best and you only cry once.
That's right.
That's probably something that all of you should write down. But in all seriousness, speak to the person that is checking out our company, and speak to that person here just for a second.
Well, one of the things that I do is I'm a mentor, and one of the principles of success that I teach my clients is to invest in yourself. And there's no one that's been successful that has never not invested in themselves, whether that's through money or development and that type of thing. So to the skeptical person, I spent a day with Glenn at the Canadian Lake Home, and it was a sizable investment, but you have to see it as an investment. For me, it's a no-brainer. You invest a certain amount of money, and that investment enables me to grow my business exponentially. And just working with Glenn for that one day, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm going to continue to do in the future. So you really have to take that word investment and look at it as an investment. And then, with the industry guarantee that Glenn provides, which is amazing, that they'll work with you until you make that investment back. It's a no-brainer for me. I don't know what else to say. It just makes sense to me, and I think it's a no-brainer.
All right, thanks, Luke. I really appreciate it. Really look forward to seeing you back here. My wife says to say hi, as do my kids. So.
Tell them I said hi too.
Yeah,
I look forward to seeing them again.
All right, everybody. That's Luke Charlton, and it's really important as you build out and last week we talked about how to create a pre-qualification process, pre-qualification, qualification process, and a vetting process. And it's crucial today that you know how to leverage testimonials, leverage your clients. All of our clients are part of our vetting process, and I showed you a little bit of what we were doing last week, including just touching on an executive summary. So I want to go into that here for a few moments. Then I'm going to interview another one of my clients that we're going to finish up, and then I'm going to interview another client who's in Omega Mind. We've done no promoting on this program yet. We have a list right now of over 200 people that want to be a part of Omega Mind, and this is a program that I'm vetting directly. So I want to show you what I'm doing, and I want to show you the importance of creating an executive summary to help speed up the process. And I believe that somebody's going to invest seriously in my company, that they have a right to meet with me, but you need to understand too that I also have the right to talk to the right people. Because I simply can't, talk to tire kickers, nor do I want to, or nor do I want to talk to people that are not action takers, not willing to challenge their assumptions about success, and not being willing to just follow a blueprint that I give them and tell them this is what you need to do, and we're here for you every step of the way, like you heard Luke. And most importantly, I want you to meet some of our clients, because this is what we teach our own clients. If you know how to educate your marketplace properly, you're going to bring the best clients. If you thought Luke was pretty cool, wait till you meet Marlene and Susan. You're really going to like them. They're a lot better looking than Luke too, so that I win. Just so you know, all of you know, I'm happily married. I also have a very dry sense of humor. So, but I want you, in all seriousness, I want you to see how knowing how to put somebody through a proper vetting process, V-E-T-T-I-N-G, we talked about this last week, is so crucial to bringing you the ideal client. So you want to know who your ideal client is, and you want to know how to educate them. I know my clients are looking for two things, just as Luke said. They're looking for accelerated business systems, and they're looking for accelerated teaching and learning, because they want to get things done faster. They want to create a service-based company, but they don't want to trade time for money. And they know that if they can increase their conversion processes, and they can work with really great clients that are going to do what they tell them to do, and do them at a faster rate, because my clients get to replicate our systems with their own business, they're only securing for themselves a greater chance of closing deals faster, quicker, a lot more strategically, which is going to increase their influence and ultimately their status. And the status is one thing that you need in business. So, and that goes a long ways in today's marketplace. So I want to talk to you today about ABPs, advisory-based products. We're going to look at a different type of ABP. We've spent time over the last several months looking at different advisory-based products that I use, that my clients use to close deals. And where our company's evolved to is really Omega Mind. I want to work with clients in real time, not just virtually like we're doing right now, and my clients invest in our programs where they get daily assistance from me and my company, but people actually can fly in and work directly with me. And I like that because I absolutely love meeting my clients, and it gives them all a chance to meet my family and my kids and my wife. My wife is impressed with the level of client that we have. She's also impressed that they would actually want to work with me. And my kids think I'm a rock star, so I win. Most importantly, though, in all seriousness, my clients win, and that's why I'm in business. I'm a teacher. That's what I got. That's what I started and spent 14 years doing. So I want to talk to you about advisory-based products here, and we're going to speak about the importance of knowing how to advise in the advisory age, and we're going to talk about an executive summary. So let's first of all, though, quickly recap before we take a look at an executive summary that I've created. If you take a look here, I showed this last week. You want to make a list of your greatest strengths, all right? And I gave 8 areas that I believe are our greatest strengths in business, and I'm going to make sure that I leverage those in everything that I do. So to replicate what I've done will cost at least $2.5 to $3 million. Training industry is huge. I talked about last week, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's only growing. And I'm a teacher, so I get to leverage that. And third, you heard what Luke said, we combine business and teaching. Another cool statistic, by 2020, 40% of Americans will be freelancing. In fact, most people globally will be freelancing, 40% all around the world. We're assisting people to create, sell, and fulfill their programs. We've got no refunds. We have our social proof is #1. You heard Luke, that's one of the reasons why he moved forward with us. And we use advisory-based products, a completely new way of doing business in the advisory age. So I want to help you and create the kind of leverage for you. So we're going to talk then about an executive summary, and I'm going to give you 5 rules around creating an executive summary. I'm going to take a look at a simple executive summary that I've created, use it highly effectively in our vetting process, and there's 5 critical components, so you're going to want to take notes. Particularly if you're one of our clients globally, you're definitely going to want to take notes on this. You know, it's really interesting. I was sharing earlier today with one of my clients that I've had the opportunity in all of the documentation that we've compiled as a company, talk to over 5,000, 5 with 3 zeros after it, over 5,000 coaches and consultants globally. And I haven't found 1%, less than 1% of those 5,000 people have some form of executive summary. And in fact, I've never found one person that knows how to create a highly effective executive summary that allows them to close the deal really, really quickly. Now, you heard Luke, or maybe it was in our green room. Luke doesn't have a great website. He doesn't have a lot of the traditional tools that so-called experts and gurus teach him that he has to. What he has is he has a more intelligent business model, a more effective way of creating leverage in the marketplace that doesn't require a heavy expenditure of money, just requires him to think a little bit more strategically. So if you want to stop working so hard and you want to act a lot smarter, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to what we're covering here. So why have an executive summary? Well, there are a few reasons why you want to have an executive summary, and bottom line, you never want to create an executive summary unless you understand what your competitive advantage is. All right? So you want to have and be very clear about what your competitive advantage is. Because if people don't get it, what you do, and if they don't understand what you do completely separate from everybody else in today's marketplace, they're gone. People expect to get their best, and they're gone. That's why I give away great content on our Google Hangouts. Why? Because this is part of our vetting process. You get a chance to meet me. You might find faults with me, and trust me, if I brought my wife online here, she could probably spend several hours, maybe several days, going through all of my faults. And so I want you to understand I'm not a perfect person. What I have is an excellent system. And if a person like me, with no formalized sales training, no MBA, just a really cool, sharp, highly strategic system that's been vetted, if you will, in over 120 industries over the last 10 years. I had 2 people reach out to me on the weekend, people that I've known for 11 years and longer, right when I first started in business, just absolutely impressed with how we've grown our company, when most of the people that started when I did or were in business, in coaching, mentoring, consulting, are out of business or simply not online anymore because they couldn't survive because it's so heavily crowded. So you want to know how to put an executive summary together really clearly that builds from your competitive advantage. And that's why I showed you want to review your strengths. Review your strengths and know how to position your strengths. That's really important. So as we talked about last week, posturing, knowing how to posture is so crucial. It was my first recommendation when you are pitching a deal, when you are doing a webinar, when you're doing a Google Hangout, when you're meeting with somebody over the phone, face-to-face, etc. You've got to know how to build posture for what you do. Because if you don't know how to build posture, everything else that you're doing you're not going to get the same kind of traction. So part of building your competitive advantage, then, you want to leverage results. All right? So you want to make sure that you leverage results. I'm going to give our 5 rules here in just a second. But I want to give, if you will, if this were a philosophy course, we would call this prolegomena. I only say that to impress you. No. Prolegomena is just it's the beginning part of philosophy. It's like what you need to understand, the groundwork to make sense of philosophy or in any area. So I'm building out for you, if you will, the ground rules. You need to be able to build on results. So if you heard what Luke's doing, He's not done what all the other gurus and experts are doing. He's not spending all this time, effort, and money writing a book, putting a long, elaborate site together, convoluted business funnels. He's not building off the typical business funnel. He's not being held hostage to high-end copywriters, etc. He's being a lot more strategic, and he's building marketing feedback data. That's crucial. Marketing feedback data, so he knows how to direct his company. And in our green room today, he was very excited about some of the strategic things that have happened to him. You just heard a little bit over the last couple of weeks, just because he's doing what other people refuse to do. Remember, not only do most people refuse to do it, but most people don't even know to do this. So as I'm sharing with you, you can Google these concepts. You're not going to find them anywhere online. The other variable that I want to point out in a good executive summary then, you want to tie your competitive advantage to the negative perception in your marketplace. The negative perception, that negative perception needs to be tied to how your ideal clients negatively perceive your competitors. How your ideal clients negatively perceive your competitors, okay? So you want to frame what you're doing around that. You also, before I bring out the 5 rules, you want to be able to leverage trends. Now, there are 3 types of trends. We call them SET, or trending data. I call that SET data, SET. You want to position what you do around sociological trends, what's going on in the marketplace with your general market. What's going on in your marketplace that's going to position you at the front of those trends sociologically, or how people make buying decisions, or what are people doing in your market? When I say people, your ideal client. Economic. What are the trends in your marketplace that you can leverage and position the problem that you're espousing or bringing forth in the market? How can you leverage that through the economic trends in your market? I already gave you one. If you look at my strengths, I tied in who I am, the gap in the market, the economic trend, which is 20% or 40% of people by the year 2020 are going to be freelancing. That means that if you're into business coaching, executive coaching, if you're into any kind of mentoring today, people need it more than ever, or consulting, because they're going off on their own, and that's great news. All right, and so it's important. And then the final variable there in SET data is technological. What are the technological trends? If you notice how we've been leveraging Google Hangouts, how we have been giving away unbelievably great content, because I know that bottom line, what you need assistance with is getting things done, and that's why we created Omega Mind. The other variable around your competitive advantage is you've got to have some kind of allure. So what's your allure? What is it that's really kind of sexy about what it is that you do, or who you are, or the journey that you're going to take somebody on? If you take a look out behind me here, we live in a beautiful area. People love coming into the Canadian Lake Home. And in fact, as I said, right where I'm going to be running our Omega Mind event, right in this whole huge room here, at the Canadian Lake Home, everybody's going to be sitting right here. They're going to get a chance to look out here. They're going to get a chance to see the lake over here, and we're going to do some of my Google Hangouts, like I said, sometimes right on the lake when it's not windy, and it's pretty windy today. So that is kind of the baseline, if you will, of an executive summary. And I'm going to interview Marlene now, and I just want you to write this down. 5 rules. All right, 5 rules. And we're going to cover the 5 rules that go into a good executive summary. Then I'm going to take you quickly through a case study, which is one of the executive summaries that we use in business. So I'm going to bring Marlene on right now. And Marlene, can you hear me okay? Marlene? Let's give it a chance here. Marlene, can you hear me talk? You want to just make sure you're unmuted on the top, Marlene. I'll try to hit unmute here again. Go ahead. I'm not hearing you, Marlene.
How about now?
Okay, perfect. Excellent. Okay, good. Yeah, all right. Welcome, by the way. Let everybody know, by the way, where you hail from, Marlene.
I am in Mesa, Arizona.
Mesa, Arizona. Beautiful area, nice and warm. We are definitely in fall here. It's about 8 Celsius today. which would be, for Americans that don't know how to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit, which would be probably about 47 Fahrenheit today. So great biking weather. I love cycling outside down the trail to Starbucks and where I work out on my mountain bike. Marlene, let's get to the gist of this. Before I get into our executive summary, you are moving forward and you've invested in Omegamind. Why did you do that? Why did you invest to come into the Canadian Lake and work with me all of 2014, 4 different events, virtual training, the bonus event that we're doing in 2.5 weeks right here at the Canadian Lake Home. You're going to be right here, Marlene. You'll be looking out this window. And we're going to do a Google Hangout, by the way, when everybody's here. So I'm pretty excited about it. But why did you invest in Omegamind?
Well, the right positioning makes a successful business, and I trust your knowledge from seeing how you've assisted other business owners with theirs. I've also, even though I didn't think I could afford to be coached on my business, I now know that I can't afford not to be. So, I've gone off in some tangents maybe on some direction that I know that wasn't right. Hindsight's 20/20. But looking at what you have provided with your social proof and the testimonials, and talking to some people that you've assisted, it's just the right thing for me.
Yeah, and Marlene, I want to speak to that for a second. We live in the recommendation age or the advisory age, and people listen to the advice of other people, and that's huge. And I want everybody to make sure you write that down. In the advisory age, you've got to know how to leverage the information that you're giving away, structure it into advice, and leverage advisory-based tools, and also leverage clients in your vetting process. Marlene, what to the skeptic, speak to the person out there that's really nervous about investing in his or her business. Speak to that person for a second, and maybe from the standpoint of what not getting the right kind of mentoring has cost and consulting has cost your company.
Well, I've been a member of mastermind groups in the past, and like you said, the sit and gets, that's basically it. The direction that was given was mainly from the participants, and who knows how good their advice is. And the follow-up and staying on track was sketchy. And two, there's other internet marketers out there that are teaching you to, their models are, going with a low-cost product maybe as an entry point that it only attracts low-cost customers, and I think that's where my problem has been, so not attracting high, long-term, high-paying clients. So your model has intrigued me to start at the top for more lucrative deals, and these are the people that I require to work with.
One of the things that you really like about Omegamind and getting to know you is the whole concept of creating a certification program and a co-branding relationship with your ideal clients. And then picture, let's forward your company 3 months from now. You've got your ideal clients. You've been positioning yourself around high-end clients. You've closed a few deals following the systems that you're going to learn in Omegamind. How is that going to transform your company long-term, Marlene?
Well, first of all, I think it's perfect advice to start where you see your business down the road and then work your way toward that vision with clarity and purpose. So that's perfect. And seeing that 3 months down the road, I know with that I've had the clarity, that has gotten me there to get these clients. So what I haven't had is that clarity in knowing the way to position and getting that leverage. So yeah, definitely it makes sense to me. Can't wait to roll this out in my business.
That's excellent. Let me just ask you this, be right up front. What is it that makes my company different than anything else that you've seen? And what would you, I just want to leave on that.
It's the accelerated learning. Definitely. I know that you've been a teacher and you still are a teacher, and that the leveraging the co-branding and certification, that's huge. But the acceleration of it, just getting it done, just get going, getting it done, being accountable, and having what you want what you require in your business when you're done with Omega Wine. That's my goal.
Good. If I had my ball cap right here, the Get Her Done hat,